Imagine owning a luxury apartment in Dubai for the price of a flat in South Mumbai and getting a residency visa as a bonus. Sounds unbelievable, right? In this video, I'm going to reveal exactly how you can join the party because this is going to be a complete guide from basic to advanced of Dubai real estate. Starting from who can buy properties in Dubai, what documents you need, little bit about mortgage requirement, then about freehold versus leasehold secrets, pros and cons of primary and secondary market, and we will also go through some questions that you have to ask yourself before even thinking about purchasing a property. And most importantly, a step-by-step buying process for you. We will also discuss the process agents go through once you as a client connect with them. Trust me, you don't want to miss insider information that no agent will tell you, and it might change how you view real estate investing. So stay till the end because I'll share some critical piece of advice that could save you thousands and help you avoid a very common and costly mistake most investors make. So the first big question, can you actually buy property in Dubai as an Indian citizen? Absolutely yes. Many people think only UAE locals or residents can own property, but that changed way back in 2002 when Dubai introduced Freehold law, which opened the doors for foreigners to buy, sell and rent property without any special permissions. Today, any nationality can own 100% freehold properties in Dubai designated areas that includes Indian citizens as well. Whether you live in Dubai, Delhi or Mumbai, anywhere else, it doesn't matter. In fact, Indians are leading the charge. Indian investors account for about 17% of Dubai real estate transactions recently, making them the top foreign buyers. Can you imagine it? So who exactly can buy? Pretty much any adult above 21 years with the funds to invest in Dubai property. You can buy as an individual or even jointly with family. For example, you and your spouse can co-own the property. There's no requirement to have a local partner. If you have a valid passport and the money, you can own a slice of Dubai. Now that we have established that you can invest in Dubai, the next question is how? What paperwork is needed? Are there any hoops to jump through? Up next, we'll break down the documents and requirements to get you from thinking to buying. And trust me, it's not as daunting as it may seem. The good news is buying property in Dubai is fairly straightforward on the documentation front. No endless paperwork nightmare. Your valid passport is the primary ID. If you are a UAE resident already, you'd use your Emirates ID too, but for non-residents, passport is the only document required. Now that you can buy a property with passport, let's move to the money part. So if you're thinking about taking a mortgage from Dubai Bank, you'll need income documents, bank statements of at least 6 months. If you are a salaried individual, you'll have to show your salary slips to get considered for mortgage. And if you own a business, you need to show your last 1 year bank statements. And insider information just for my viewers, if you are maintaining an equivalent of 25,000 AED in your bank account every month, your chances of getting approved for a mortgage from Dubai Bank are very high. That's basically it, and trust me, banks in UAE are very used to Indian buyers. They'll guide you on the best way to route funds. Once your money is in Dubai account or an escrow account, if buying off-plan property, you're all set. And don't worry, we'll discuss escrow account as well. Next up, let's clear up some confusing topics first, which is freehold versus leasehold property. I've heard that foreigners only get 99 years to lease or something. We're about to bust that myth and explain which option is right for you and why picking the wrong one could be costly mistake. So freehold versus leasehold, what does that actually mean and which can you buy? This is crucial to understand. Freehold properties means you own the property outright indefinitely. It's yours. You can sell it, rent it, even pass it to your kids. In Dubai context, freehold means that you own the land if it's a villa or plot and you have the title deed in your name with no expiration date. The Dubai government designated many areas as freehold zones where foreigners can buy with full ownership rights. All the popular areas, think about Dubai Marina, Downtown, Palm Jumeirah, Business Bay, Emirates Hill, Arabian Ranches and many more are freehold. So as an Indian investor, you're likely going to be buying a freehold property which gives you same property rights just as any UAE citizen in that property. And leasehold property on the other hand means you're buying the rights to use the property for a fixed long term, often 99 years, and you don't own the land. Effectively, you are a long-term leaseholder, and after the lease period, the rights reverts back to the landlord or the government. We won't discuss it in more detail since you are watching this video as an investor. This is not your cup of tea because the majority of opportunities you'll be looking at are in freehold. So which is better? For most investors, freehold is the way to go. It gives you full control and typically typically better resale value. Now that you understand your ownership options, it's time to decide what to buy: a brand new home from a developer or a pre-owned home from the market. The primary versus secondary market debate is next. One path offers the payment flexibility, the other offers immediate possession. Which one is right for you? Well, we'll compare them and give you some insider tips on each. When buying in Dubai, you have two broad avenues: primary or secondary market. Let's break down both because this choice will shape your strategy. Primary market, this means you are buying directly from a developer, often a property that is under construction or nearly completed. You must have heard of big developers like Imad, Damak, Nakhil, Shoba, and etc. Buying off-plan before the building is even finished is a very common here. In fact, off-plan sales have been booming with a record-breaking numbers. Amazing, right? Why do people love it? A few reasons. The first and the biggest reason: lower upfront cost and payment plans. You typically pay in stages, for example 10% now, 10% in a few months, with a sizable chunk on completion, and sometimes you also get a post handover plans where you get to pay even after the possession. Next is early bird prices. If you buy early in a project launch, you often get a better price because the developer tend to raise prices as the project sells out. Next is brand new property. You get a spanking new unit, modern amenities, latest design, and nobody has lived in it before. Great for attracting tenants who love new buildings. You also get to do snagging, where you can inspect the property before possession for cracks, damages, or any non-working switches. If there's anything wrong, it would be fixed free of cost, and this you don't get in secondary market. And lastly, no brokerage commission. Most developers pay the agent from their side, so as a buyer you don't have to pay anything as commission in primary sales. This can save you up to 2% of your total value compared to secondary deals. But there are trade-offs. You might have to wait for the project to be completed anywhere between 3 to 4 years for bigger projects, and there's also a trust factor. You need to stick with a reputable developer to avoid delays or surprises. Well, the good news is Dubai market is well regulated now. Projects have escrow accounts, RERA oversight, etc. Risks are very low than they used to be, but due diligence is the key. Now that we have mentioned escrow account again, let's discuss it. An escrow account is a government monitored bank account where a buyer money is safely held until the developer meets agreed construction milestones. This system was introduced by Dubai Land Department (DLD) to protect investors from fraud and project delays. The Real Estate Regulatory Agency (RERA), a division of DLD, mandates escrow account for all under construction projects, and developers cannot access these funds freely. They only receive money in phases based on construction project approved by a government auditor. No developer can legally sell off properties unless the project is registered with RERA and an escrow account is created and linked to that specific project. Now that you understand where your money goes once you start the payment plan in an under construction properties, let's move to ready properties, which is secondary market. This means you're buying from an existing owner. The property is ready, so the pros of secondary market are: what you see is what you get. You can physically inspect the exact apartment or the villa. No guessing on layouts or brochures. It's all there. You can check it out yourself and decide if you want to buy it or not. Next is immediate handover. Once you complete the sale, you get the keys. You can move in or rent it out right away. Your money starts working immediately. Another pro is negotiation wiggle room. With individual seller, there's often room to negotiate price or include furnishing, especially if the seller is motivated. Next, established area. Secondary properties are in matured communities. You know the neighborhood vibe, you know the occupancy rate, which can be reassuring that this is the community I'm settling in. But what are the drawbacks of secondary market? First is upfront payment. You typically need to pay the full amount at transfer. There's no extended payment plan. If you take the mortgage route, that's fine, but you should have your down payment, usually 20 to 30% for non-residents, ready, and then take the mortgage on the remaining amount. Next is property condition. Some resale homes may need a bit of renovation depending on age, so always do an inspection, and the plus point, you can spot any issues and use that to negotiate or plan repairs. Last is fees. In secondary purchase, you'll generally pay the broker's commission, usually 2% yourself, whereas in off-plan, the developer covers it. Now, which one to choose? Well, it depends on your goals. If you want rental income immediately or a home to use now, secondary is the ideal choice. But if you are aiming for capital growth and can wait for few years, off-plan primary properties might yield a better ROI. Buy low, sell higher on completion, and easier entry with payment plans. Pro tip: for secondary market, work with reputable agent to find well-maintained unit and must check that all service charges are paid by the seller before transfer. Now let's move to two most important questions that you have to ask yourself before start looking for properties. First and the most important is deciding your budget and planning your finances. Only then you can go out in the market and look for projects that are in your budget. And next is, will I be living in that property or is it purely my investment? Because if you're planning to buy that property as an end user, then you have to consider many things like your preferred area, your building preference, and if you'd like it a furnished apartment or unfurnished one, your floor level, the kind of view you'd like, whether it's a park view, skyline view, sea view, or community view. Then you have to consider how far is your office. But if you are purely looking for an investment, then you can check where I can get the most ROI on my investment. Like, you have to be clear about your own requirements first and then go out in the market to look for properties to invest. Now you might be thinking, okay, I know what I want to buy, but how do I actually buy it? So coming up next is the step-by-step buying process in Dubai. I'll walk you through each steps one by one, including one critical step where many first-time investors slip up, because a smooth process can save you time, money, and a lot of stress. Now that you are ready with your requirements, the first thing that you have to do is find an agent and share all your requirements with him or her. Then the agent will show you 3 to 4 projects based on your requirements, and you will select one specific project where you want to invest. So after you select the project, agent will then connect with the project's developer team and ask for availability in that particular project, like which units are available with what view and on which floor. Then he will share it with you and you will decide from the availability list that I want this unit on this floor with this particular view. Now based on the floor and view, prices may differ a little bit, so you can ask for the sales offer of that particular unit that you want. Now the agent will share you the sales offer with you. You can also see it on the screen. For an example, we are taking Shobha's sales offer, where you can confirm the exact price of that particular unit and can see the breakdown of your payment plan. If you will scroll down a little bit, you will also see the pre-registration fees, including 4% DLD and Ukud fees. And at the bottom, you will also see the project bank details like escrow account. Now, after finalizing the unit, the developer sends you a unit reservation form, URF, and a payment link for the 2% token amount over your email address. Now, after filling all the details and signing the URF form, you complete the payment and attach a screenshot as a proof. You revert back to the same email address. Now that unit is reserved in your name and it's gone from the developer's database. After that, you'll have 15 to 60 days to pay the 20% down payment and 4% DLD fees. It's like the stamp duty. This payment can also be made via international transfer from your home country, so you don't have to be physically present in Dubai. Once 24% is paid, the developer issues a sales purchase agreement, SPA, detailing price, payment plan, delivering timeline, and terms and conditions. And both buyer and seller sign it and submit it to Dubai Land Department, DLD, and after approval you'll receive an executed SPA copy via courier. After 45 days you'll get the title deed called Ukud, proving your ownership of the unit. Now remember, before Ukud you were only registered as an owner in the developer database, but after Ukud you are registered in Dubai government database. That's basically it. You are now the registered owner of that property. Now that you know the process step by step on how you can buy property in Dubai without even visiting Dubai, let's discuss the average property prices and rental yields. For studios, start with 1.5 crores. For 1 BHK, start somewhere 2.5 crore. For 2 BHK, it starts 3.5 crore, and for 3 BHK, it starts from 5 to 6 crores. And if I talk about villas and townhouse, 4 BHK townhouse starts somewhere between 6 to 7 crores. 5 BHK row villa starts somewhere between 8 to 9 crores, and in independent villa it starts from 11 crores. And if I talk about the average rental yield returns, apartment gives you an annually 8 to 9%. Villas and townhouse typically gives you 6% annually, but the most rental yield that you can get is in short-term rentals like Airbnb, which gives you up to 12 to 15% in prime locations. By owning a property and getting a UAE residency, you also diversify your life geographically. It's like an insurance. If you ever need to relocate for work, education, or even during any crisis, you have a place where you can legally live for a long term. If you're still with me thinking, wow, that's a lot of info, do share this video with friends or family who might also be interested in Dubai real estate. Spread spread the word knowledge, they'll thank you, and so will I. We're almost at the end of this video, but up next is my final advice for you. Taking the leap into international real estate can feel intimidating, but remember, fortune favors the bold. Dubai today is like a land of opportunities. It's a global city at the crossroads of the world, and it's only rising in prominence. By investing here, you are not just buying a piece of land, you're joining dynamic story of growth. And if you are a first-time investor from anywhere, Dubai is one of the friendliest market to start with. I'm grateful you spent time with me on this video. I genuinely hope you find value in it. If you did, please smash that like button and subscribe for such in-depth guide. I love sharing what I have learned as a real estate professional. Drop a comment or question below. I'll personally respond to help you out. In the description, you'll find my details, and thank you for watching the video. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.